So this fret nut on this warped normal, this is the open string zone now because I put the fret nut there, so it makes it open string. This is the normal C diatonic scale. 3, 4, 5, 6, you know, that kind of thing, right? Okay. So that was just a little E minor there. So that is the easiest one. We know what this diagram is now. Okay. The problem is C is the only caged position or caged open chord that you can access all of the diatonic notes from the open position. Okay, I'm going to erase this because we got to be zooming in and every. I keep thinking that's the eraser, and then I have to cut this even tighter. Okay, so that's the easiest one. All right, this is the unwarped C, which is how the C is built. How is the C built? It's built by these two patterns here, down here. Okay? Oh, we're just there. So on the bottom of the C, we have an S2L. All right? A building block right there. Then we're going to go into an S3S. We put it right on top of there. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, R2. Right there. And on top of that is the lower half of an S3L. It's that simple. That's how we build a C. An A is just the same situation, just the top 2/3 of this. We don't have the 2 anymore because we don't have enough room for that. So we start here, and if we start here with just the top 2/3 of this and then build from there, there's an S2L on top of it. And then we start another one of these guys here, and we only get up this far. Okay, now an unwarped drawing will have the top and the bottom string the same, but off by a half step. The warped drawing will have the top and bottom string exactly the same. It just works out that way. As a matter of fact, that's why they made the warp. I'll put money on it. That's why well, it's just an expression. That's probably why they made the warp. Not just to fit your fingers, but to compensate for the way that the pattern stacks up and starts traveling with that 7. Every time the 7 sticks out and you put a 3, 4, 5 on top of it, right, which would be a whole step here between the 2 and the 3, it moves the pattern stack starts stepping over. So they did this warp to warp it back over, and that gives it its characteristic. The characteristic of a warped fretboard down here is that you have the same string, because the pattern does repeat. The pattern does repeat. Just like you look at a piano keyboard, there's a lot of repetition in it. Okay, so we've explained this is the normal C. This is the unwarped C, how it was built by the patterns. Okay. Now, let's go to the next easiest one, which would be let's go to the unwarped C with a different pattern. Now we're going to build the same C as this one, but with a different pattern. We're going to add in this stack of 3 extra long. Okay, we talked about earlier in the lesson that that's part of the 7L master pattern, which has 2 S3S's and 2 S2Ls in it. Okay, the reason why we want to put this longer pattern out in is because when we're in the open string positions, which are these guys. Okay, only in the C position can we do the entire diatonic scale. We can't do it in the G position. It cannot be done in the G position, or the D, or the A, or the E. And the situation gets worse as you go along from there, because with the G you can't get the F sharp. With the D you can't get both the F sharp and the C sharp. With the A you can't get the F sharp, the C sharp, and the G sharp. And with the E you can't get all that plus a D sharp or something like that. So I got these larger patterns in here. So this is the unwarped pattern build for the C diatonic scale, all right, which would start here on the third, or you could start it from the root, okay. That's just the way the C is. That's the way the C are. Okay, so what is this? This is the warped fretboard. This is the warped fretboard. If you thought this was hard to swallow, okay, now look at it warped. You got to warp those top two strings to get the warped normal key of C pattern warped. But we're still really not reaping the benefits yet. Now it's just like having its way with us. To look at this, this is an S2L here, okay? And then we have the bottom two members of an S3S, okay? But actually we're only going to take the bottom member of that S3S. Then we're going to go into an S3XL, and we're going to get the same diatonic scale. So from the bottom, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, root, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, warp, root, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5, 6. So let's play that a little faster. Let's play that a little faster. Okay, so it's about 2.5 octaves of C diatonic there, starting from the third. It doesn't sound right because we started from the third. But if I start from the root and just play up from there, you'll hear the C scale. So it goes. Okay. Just up to the root there. And then these guys are a little more challenging. You have to be looking at the keyboard, not looking at the music, so to speak. Alright, so it gets interesting when you get into the other, and we got to pretty much wrap it up now. When we get into the other shapes that are there, okay, here's the new pattern stack. Here's where this stacks up, okay. So we see that on the bottom here we only had one member of the S3S there. There's the 5, 6 was the middle part, but we took the 7th over here because the fret nut would have been there at that point. And we'll get to that in the next lesson. Okay, we're going to be looking at this chart again. So this is a very important chart because it has all 4 of what we're looking for, where it has the long pattern unwarped that has the patterns, then it warps that as we actually play it, and it has the short patterns unwarped, so they're easy to see how they're just stacked up, and then it warps that, and that's your normal keyboard. You would do this stuff up here, okay? You know, and you'd be able to get these lower notes too, okay? So, we're out of time. So next time we'll pick